Hey everyone, and welcome to Boston Autoblog. Fall is in the air, I'm wearing long sleeves, and that can only mean one thing. Winter is coming. Up until today, I've never featured a Subaru on this channel, but that is going to change, because being a Boston-based automotive YouTube channel, that just isn't right, as the Subaru name is very iconic up here in New England due to the vehicle's ability to take on harsh winters. Now, Subaru is best known for two great attributes. One being they provide all-wheel drive to almost every single vehicle in their lineup, and two, they really listen to their customers, giving them exactly what they want. So today, we're going to take a look at the all-new 2020 Subaru Legacy Touring XT to see what has changed from last generation. Now before we get into this review, I am at the largest Subaru dealership in New England, Subaru of Wakefield, and I'd like to thank them for allowing me to do this review. Their link will be in the description below, so you can check out their extensive Subaru inventory. I will also leave links to their social media channels as well, so you can check out what they're doing in the community, because they're very active with charities in this area, and also see what new cars are arriving at the dealership. And so, without wasting any further time, let's get right into this review. For years, we've talked about how cars are slowly on the way out to be replaced by crossovers. But the future of this segment is dependent on the market's adoption to all-wheel drive sedans. And for decades, Subaru has provided that in the $20,000 to mid-$30,000 price range with the Legacy nameplate. Regionally, Subaru fares very well where snow and adverse weather conditions are to be expected, due to rival brands offering front-wheel drive cars. While a few manufacturers are adding all-wheel drive as an optional drivetrain, Subaru has built a loyal following and is recognized as being the most capable winter vehicles for New England. Now in the 7th generation, the Legacy is built on a new global platform, but at first glance, the changes that have been made seem very minimal. In terms of dimensions, the 2020 model year is 2 inches longer than last year, which will translate to more rear legroom for passengers. But there's no difference in length or height. What did change was the design for the headlights and taillights, giving the Legacy a minor facelift, but sticking to an overall road presence that many owners of the 6th generation would recognize. It's arguable that nothing truly needed to be changed for the Legacy pertaining to the exterior, as even customers have no desire for the brand to radically alter the appearance of their favorite sedan. But the minor cosmetic upgrades helps the Legacy fall into place with the lineup's new look. However, Subaru found ways to improve in other areas, mostly when it comes to driving experience and interior comfort, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. For the Touring XT trim, LED steering responsive headlights come standard, along with LED fog lights, making driving on dimly lit roads much safer. Coming around back, LED taillights that are standard for 2020 and dual stainless steel exhaust tips help distinguish the XT trims from the rest of the Legacy lineup. Also setting the Touring XT trim apart is satin chrome power folding side mirrors with integrated turn signals that give the Legacy a sporty appearance, especially with the crystal black paint. 18-inch alloy wheels sporting a new and modern design will come standard on the limited trim and above, while Legacies on the more affordable side of the lineup will be sitting on 17s. For performance, both XT trims will be powered by a 2.4-liter turbocharged boxer 4-cylinder engine that puts out 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque, and is paired with a continuously variable transmission. Receiving most of the attention is the return of the turbo, which many journalists and Subaru enthusiasts have been very excited about. While horsepower gains are minor, the 2020 model gets a 30 pound-foot of torque boost, which will help get the Legacy to 60 miles per hour in around 6 seconds. Despite the transmission being a CVT, it will mimic the shifts of an 8-speed automatic transmission, and you'll find paddle shifters mounted behind the steering wheel to manually shift through gears. Fuel economy numbers improve with the new 4-cylinder engine from last year's 3.6 cylinder, as you can expect to receive 24 miles per gallon in the city and 32 miles per gallon on the highway, which is a combined average increase of 4 miles per gallon from the 2019 model. Now, before getting into the interior, I want to talk about one thing that's specific to the Touring XT trim, which is the Napa leather seats. Now, Subaru has changed over the last 10 years. They went from a brand that was all about all-wheel drive and getting you through harsh winters and any type of road conditions you're going to experience, to really focusing on safety technology through the eyesight system, but also now entry-level luxury feel, or having that premium feel behind the wheel. These Napa leather seats are comfortable, but most importantly, which is something I really wanted to focus on and talk about, is the soft touch feel throughout the car. I was not expecting that. Everything is soft touch, really adds more of a premium feel to it. These seats are heated and ventilated, they're power adjustable, and it's just something that, having been in Subarus before, this is a major step up for the brand. The Napa leather seats are comfortable, and it just really feels like Subaru's going in the direction of providing maybe more of a luxury feel to go on top of their safety technology and providing all-wheel drive. So before we get into the rest of the interior, there's a few more features I want to go over, and some of them are safety technology, and others are kind of neat little things that you probably wouldn't find in a lot of cars today. So I have my iPhone with me to make sure I'm saying this all right. Now, as we know, most of the new Subarus have eyesight driver assist technology, a lot of them being equipped with that. Well, the XT trims take it one step further. So we have driver-focused distraction mitigation systems for the XT trims. And you're going to notice that there's a little eyebrow over the infotainment system. At least that's what I'm going to call it. It looks like an eyebrow. Inside are sensors that let you know if you are focused on the road. So say, you're texting while driving, or, you're just not really focused. The car will notify you to make sure that you're actually looking in front of you and actually paying attention to the road, which I think is great. Also, something too is that with the sensors, it will notify you if you're being fatigued. So say it's been a long night, you were hanging out with some friends, maybe at a restaurant, and you're just really tired. Well, the car will let you know that maybe it's time to pull over, or you shouldn't be behind the wheel. So I think there's just some interesting safety technology and really good stuff to have, especially if you maybe your parent, your younger driver in the house is on the road. Having that safety technology is good and keeps them away from texting while driving, and maybe even staying away from being out late and maybe take an Uber, which would probably be the better decision. So the next feature, which I think is really cool, really neat, cannot believe I'm even seeing this in 2019 and in the 2020 model, is the CD player in the center storage compartment. Now, believe it or not, there is a demand for this, and there are a few brands bringing back the CD player for cars. There have been a lot of people complaining about how there's no CD player, and despite the fact that we live in an age with iTunes, iPhones, and Spotify, it's kind of weird that people are still listening to CDs. Now, I have CDs lying around in my place. I don't ever listen to them, but maybe there is stuff on there that I can't find on iTunes, and maybe I want to listen to it. I think there is a need for it. Apparently there really is a demand, so that's actually really cool to see, especially where we're moving away from 90s technology and really going into the future with iTunes and iPhones and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. I just think that's really cool. Another feature is the wireless phone charging pad, which is equipped on this Touring XT. It is an option on other trims as well for about $400. I think it's a necessity, it really is. You do need it, especially where, say you don't bring a USB input with you or a USB cable. It's just really cool to have. You keep your phone charged, and it's just one of those features that I think really should be in a lot of new cars today. Once you're inside, you'll first notice the all-new 11.6-inch tablet-like touchscreen, which is without a doubt one of the largest infotainment screens in its class. You'll get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility, along with a navigation system. From this screen, you can access your dual-zone climate control settings, and you'll have physical buttons on both sides of the infotainment system to adjust the temperature. Your 3-level heated and ventilated front seats can also be accessed through the touchscreen. And with this setup, the interior has a much cleaner design than some competitors. A rear backup camera with trajectory, along with a 180-degree front view camera, will make parking or backing out of spots much easier. Equipped on the Touring XT, the upgraded 12-speaker Harman Kardon premium audio system adds a higher quality sound and helps achieve Subaru's goal to move in the direction of providing a luxury car experience. Overall, the system is very responsive, but most importantly, it's easy to adapt to, and it's not complicated, which older drivers will certainly appreciate. In front of you are traditional analog gauges, with a digital information display in the center. Using the buttons on your heated leather-wrapped steering wheel, you can scroll through a variety of information, such as tire pressure and your fuel economy. Above, you do get a power moonroof, which comes standard on the XT, letting in a lot of natural light, and brightening up the interior to give the Legacy a more upscale feel. So for passengers in the back, they're going to get a lot of legroom here. I'm actually thoroughly impressed and really surprised, to be honest. You think for a mid-sized sedan, you might not get a lot of legroom. Now, okay, the driver's seat is adjusted to someone of my height, which is around 5'5". So maybe if this seat is adjusted a little bit further back, I have less legroom, but I wouldn't be complaining. Now, let's be honest here, if you have passengers in the back, they're not always going to be six foot tall adults. They're mostly going to be younger children, maybe younger adolescents, and someone who's around 5'8", 5'9", would actually be very comfortable back here. And the Napa leather seats, they're really, really comfortable to sit in. And on a day like today, with it being kind of a cold fall day, I have 2-level heated seats, so I'd be very happy back here. To be fair, I sat on the passenger side of the Legacy, and despite the seat being further back, someone of my height would still be comfortable. For rear cargo room, the Legacy will get 15 cubic feet of rear cargo space with the seats folded up. Instead of manually having to fold the seats down, there's quick release hatches for more convenience, so you can quickly load up the sedan with whatever you're carrying. Now overall, I really like what Subaru is doing here. They're moving in the premium direction, and specifically for the Touring XT trim, a lot of eye-opening for me. Not something I was expecting. Now I knew that Subaru was going to make some changes to the car, but there's just some minor details that just stand out to me the most. Now you have your 11.6-inch touchscreen, but there's no button clutter. Everything is exactly where you want it to be. Your dual-zone climate control buttons, your front and rear defrosters, your heated and ventilated front seats can all be found on the touchscreen or mounted on either side of the touchscreen with physical buttons. And there's no button clutter anywhere. The infotainment system is very easy to use. So if you're coming from an older Legacy to a newer one, you're not going to be on the lot for 5-10 minutes learning it. It's just very easy to adapt to. But overall, what Subaru is doing, all the changes they made were the right ones. Now, they poll their customers to see what they want changed for the next model year or the next generation. And Subaru owners said they didn't want anything changed. And, well, Subaru listened. If you think about it, we're on a whole new platform here, and you really can't tell any of the differences from the exterior. Other than maybe headlight and taillight designs, there's really not much of a difference. But the interior is where they made significant changes. And what Subaru is proving here is that you don't need to drastically or radically change a car to perfect it. And the interior is really where the perfections were made. From the soft touch padding, which really stands out to me. That to me is actually the eye-opener for me, other than anything else. Because I've been in Subarus before, and you just didn't have that. But also the Napa leather seats. These are actually truly comfortable. They're heated and ventilated. You have your wireless phone charging pad, and even the CD player. Everything they're doing right now is really moving in the right direction, and they listened to their customers, and they found ways to improve a car that, arguably, if you ask any Subaru owner, really didn't need to be changed at all. But they found ways to improve it. So, really like what Subaru is doing here, and I have to be honest, I'm truly impressed right now. Now, once again, I really want to thank Subaru of Wakefield for allowing me to do this review. They're a great dealership. They work in the community, do charity events, and they're just really focused on the community itself. And, you know, being a YouTuber that's looking for car dealerships, that's something I really want. I want a dealership that's active in the community, that, you know, just really focuses on all the minor details that a lot of dealerships kind of overlook. So I will leave their link in the description below, along with their social media links, so you can see what the dealership is up to and the charity events that they're supporting, and also see what new cars are arriving at the dealership. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys next time.